9,000 years. That's how long it's been since Saturn and Neptune last met at 0 degrees Aries, the very first degree of the entire zodiac. The last time this happened, humanity was inventing agriculture and building the first permanent settlements. On February 20th, 2026, it happened again. Saturn, the planet of structure, authority, borders, and hard reality, met Neptune, the planet of illusion, disillusion, fog, and idealism, at the most powerful point in the entire zodiac, 0 degrees Aries. This is what astrologers call the world point. Aries is ruled by Mars, the god of war. It's the sign of initiation, aggression, and new beginnings. Saturn is in its fall here, meaning it's weakened, operating in unfamiliar, hostile territory. And Neptune? Neptune dissolves whatever it touches. Boundaries, rules, the line between truth and propaganda. When these two meet in Aries, ruled by the war planet, the astrological tradition tells us to expect the collapse of old borders, ideological warfare, confusion about who the real enemy is, and charismatic leaders who can enchant the masses for better or for worse. And history backs this up. The 1846 conjunction coincided with the US-Mexico War and the redrawing of American borders. In 1917, it aligned with the Bolshevik Revolution. 1953 brought the Korean War ceasefire, and in 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. Every single Saturn-Neptune conjunction marks a moment when the structures of the old world collapse and something entirely new, and often painful, is born. 8 days after the exact conjunction, on February 28th, the United States and Israel launched a massive joint military operation against Iran. Within 24 hours, strikes hit over 500 sites across 153 cities. Iran's supreme leader was killed in the initial attacks. What followed was exactly what the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries warned us about. Iran retaliated, striking oil infrastructure across the Persian Gulf, hitting facilities in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE. A commander in the Revolutionary Guard declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. 1/5 of the world's oil supply travels through that strait every single day. Neptune rules oil. Saturn rules infrastructure and borders. Aries rules war and aggression. The conjunction of these forces at the world point didn't just correlate with a war. It correlated with a war fought over the exact themes these planets represent. But it wasn't just the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Look at the supporting transits. On February 27th, 1 day before the strikes, Mars squared Uranus. Mars-Uranus aspects are the classic signature for sudden explosions, shock attacks, and military surprises. This was the cosmic trigger. Then, on March 3rd, a lunar eclipse at 12 degrees Virgo. Eclipses are about revelation, things hidden coming to light, and things in the light being eclipsed. Within days of this eclipse, Iran confirmed Khamenei's death. And here's the detail that sends chills down any mundane astrologer's spine. Mercury was retrograde in Pisces through all of this. Mercury retrograde, miscommunication, confusion, things not being what they seem. In Pisces, the sign of Neptune. The fog of war wasn't just a metaphor, it was written in the sky. The very last time Neptune entered Aries, April 12, 1861, that was the exact day the American Civil War began. Neptune in Aries carries the energy of ideological warfare, of nations splitting apart over deeply held beliefs, of moral struggle that becomes military struggle. Now Neptune is back in Aries, and once again, we're watching a conflict driven by clashing ideologies, territorial disputes, and the dissolution of boundaries that were assumed to be permanent. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries isn't just a transit. It's a once-in-9,000 years reset. The old structures are dissolving. New ones haven't formed yet, and we're all living in that liminal space between what was and what will be. Whether you believe the stars cause events or simply mirror them, The correlation here is undeniable. The themes written in the sky, war, oil, dissolving borders, ideological fog, are playing out on the world stage with eerie precision. This is just the beginning. Saturn and Neptune will remain close in Aries through 2028. The story isn't over. It's just starting. If this resonated with you, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, we'll be tracking the sky and showing you exactly how the cosmic clock maps onto the headlines. Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.